What's up, LC heads? So I made a video, maybe a week ago, talking about Ruuto. Yeah, Ruuto. Right? And I kind of forgot to mention just how good he is in arena. Right? Like, we covered a lot of things. We talked about him. I talked about his synergy and all that stuff, but I didn't get to talk about arena too much. So I wanted to cut back in here and just throw a little bit of light on this. I haven't played arena in a long time, and I wasn't even sure if I got all the rewards for it. So I was like, you know what? Let's just get to gold and make sure, we got all that, whatever. It wasn't that hard of a journey. It really isn't. Anybody can get to gold, I think. Anybody that's been playing at least for a little bit. I didn't really go through and surgically implement some kind of strategy and some kind of party. We'll go into my arena here, right? So long story short, yeah, I got to gold. Here we are at gold. I've just been coasting, right? And this gave me an opportunity to test some of the newer heroes like Melee, who was just absolutely wrecking in arena. Rimuru was strong too, but it seems like maybe they cut Rimuru back a little bit, giving him some longer charge time, so he can't just spam that fireball instantly. Regardless, this team works pretty well. The fight starts, I switch over to Melee, I status everybody, and then I typically don't even have to switch around a lot of times. That will just take the party out, right? And if Melee does run out of kits to throw, that's when I can click over to Rimuru and see if he has some kind of ranged attack to throw from the back. Ray, I can click on Ray and do his AoE around him when shit gets dicey. When the enemy's hitting me back and everyone's kind of stun locked, I'm like, Ray can interrupt everybody around him. So sometimes I don't even see where Ray is in the fight. I just see things going bad for me, and I'll tap over to Ray and I'm like, wherever you are, stun everyone around you for a second. So it works. And then, of course, we have Milim. And Milim, she's pretty damn tough. She can hang out and survive long enough where if everybody's kit's drained and my party starts to die, chances are this girl's still alive. She has finished some crazy fights for me. She's been outnumbered, she's juggled people, and ultimately the S3 becomes super nice because when you need to get a kill, you can target somebody, hit them with that S3, and it pulls them away from everybody, so nobody can interrupt you, nobody can hit you, right? And that explosion she does is great. I've even managed to time it so that she pushes somebody into their teammates and then blows up and does damage to all of them. So it's been a fun team to run for sure. I'm seeing more Melees implemented in arena now. She is tricky to deal with, more status to worry about, right? So it's been a fun team, right? But here's what I've noticed. My defensive team was getting effing crushed. I mean, absolutely annihilated. Before you get to gold, you can just kind of put whatever you want into a defensive party. And I didn't go through and make some kind of awesome defense party. I didn't really even go through the characters all that much. For the most part, I used a lot of the same heroes because they were already set up. I already had, the SCT set up for them. I had items on them, and I was just like, we'll be alright. We'll just throw some of our stronger heroes out there, and they'll hold the defensive line. The problem is once you get to gold rank, that shit doesn't fly anymore. Your defensive team has to have some kind of actual play, or you are going to lose every single time that somebody attacks you. That's just what was happening, and I was like, I gotta actually do something about this. That way I kind of hold on to my rank and I can coast here. And Ruuto came up, right? Because it was something that I was noticing. I was having a hard time with an overrun team like this because I'm not running a healer. I can tell you guys right now, the only time I was losing, it wasn't a Theria combo. I can deal with Theria. There's enough damage and crowd control here and status here to deal with a freaking Theria or a Sarah. That's not the issue. I've even dealt with both of them before. The issue is dealing with a Ruuto. dealing with a Ruuto and a healer can just become absurd. Like, I will kill off 2 of the enemies, and then Ruuto will anchor raid, and everybody will get stuck on Ruuto, and the healer will keep Ruuto alive, and then the enemy team comes back to life, and they absolutely destroy you because you are all centered around Ruuto, and they're going to throw their AoEs there, and they're just going to destroy your whole team. And then you spawn again, and he's probably going to anchor raid again right after that, and you just get stuck, right? And it happens. So I was like, you know what? I don't know if mine will work like that, right? Because my Roland is made to be a healer. So he's supposed to be healing people, and I was like, well, why couldn't I try to kind of get him to do both? He could throw a support heal if he can here and there. But mostly, he's just going to be there to anchor raid and get people stuck on him to give my other characters a chance to actually do some damage, to actually drop some of their abilities. And if the enemy team can really be centered around Ruuto, that means more of my AoEs are going to hit multiple units, and they're just going to count more. You're going to do more damage. So within putting Ruuto in my defensive party, I didn't know how it was going to work. Here it is. Here's my defensive team. Melee's still there, right? It's the same team pretty much. It's the same team, except who did I take out? I took out Rimuru. And I put Ruuto in, right? I gave him his sister's arc, Theria's arc. That's just going to keep him alive. Right, it's going to, when his health does get low, it like puts a shield up on him and just keeps him alive for another, I don't know, 10 seconds. But in that 10 seconds, chances are anchor raids went off and you're stuck. You're stuck targeting him for that extra 10 seconds, and you can't kill him, which gives my whole team 10 more seconds to throw some S1s, some S2s, whatever, right? And I didn't know how well this was going to work, but I'll be honest with you guys. My defense log, I think it went to like a 50%. Look at this. It is a 50%. It's actually higher than a 50%. So my defense log went from all losses from the same team minus Ruuto. It was all losses for, since I've gotten to gold rank. Like, my defense log has just been, you lose every time. And I was like, you know what? Let's see if I can do something about that. So just by putting Ruuto in, and Ruuto that's actually just built for healing, right, and just setting him up to throw his S2 and get everyone to target him, just by me putting Ruuto in to my defensive team, a team that I can't even control, my defensive log went to over a 50% win rate. I think that's freaking awesome. I think that speaks for itself. Ruuto is amazing in Arena. And you don't have to just use him defensively either. You can use Ruuto in an offensive party, right? Because ultimately what I could do is I could take Rimuru out of here, right? And I could replace him with Ruuto, and then when the fight starts, and I'm actually controlling him, if you have one of Ruuto's paid items, you're going to automatically start with an S2. I forget which one of his pieces of gear it is, but it adds like 20 seconds of SCT to his S2, which is Anchor Raid, right when everything starts. So you put a little bit of S2 charge on him for 3 SC, and you're going to start with Anchor Raid. Like, so right off rip, I could start a fight and just use the same damn strategy that I'm using now. I could switch over to melee. I could throw a couple of her S1s just to status some people and maybe even kill someone along the way. And as soon as I'm done draining those, I could switch over to Ruuto and I could use Anchor Raid. And then as soon as everybody's Anchor Raided to him, you just run him away. You run him to part of the map where enemies that drop AoEs aren't going to hit your other units. Only Ruuto is going to be hit, right? And you stand him there, and then I would just be able to swap to my other heroes and do ranged attacks and take out a whole party. So I could very easily do that. I'm willing to bet I would even probably have a stronger attack party if I put Ruuto in and actually started using that strategy. I don't know, I do like the overrun team though. I like this. I like, Rimuru throwing fireballs or being able to drop that S3 of his and just pretty much smash a whole team with all that light damage. I don't know, I just think it's cool. So for the most part, I've been leaving Rimuru in, but I'm just giving out some ideas that some other players could use. Maybe your account isn't as established and you want to get to gold rank. I'm telling you right now, Ruuto is going to be one of the best heroes that you could implement in your team to help you get to gold rank. You can use him offensively in a very underhanded damn way, and in a defensive party, he is going to give you more wins in defense. So I do believe that makes it easier for you to hold your rank, right? So getting even a 50% win rate when enemy parties are attacking you is going to substantially help you. And the fact that he could get me over a 50% win rate in the actual gold league, right, where more of the serious players are, in more established accounts, that was impressive to even me. And like I said, going into this, I didn't know how well he would do. I was honestly going to be happy. I was going to be happy with a 20% win rate. 2 out of 10. Like, if Ruuto could have got me a win here and a win there, 10%, 20%, I would have been like, you know what, that's better than 0%, because I was losing every single one. And that's really what I was aiming for. Let's see if I can retain 20% of my defensive battles as wins. And instead, I'm at like 60% right now. So I was like, I got to get in here and talk about this a little bit, because, I've just been seeing these defensive logs pop up, and it's like successful, defense successful, and I'm like, damn, every time it happens, I'm like, that's all Ruuto. Straight up, that is all Ruuto. So there is a pretty awesome light element sword here that you get for getting into Arena Gold. My best suggestion to anybody that has a Ruuto, he's going to help you get there if you apply him, for sure. He's going to make things much easier, and offensive team and defensive team. And I didn't really get to talk about this that much when we were actually looking at Ruuto, and I think this is a big part of what he adds to this game. Anchor rate can be absolutely just an effing nightmare to deal with, right? And when I go into battle, like, the only battles I will skip with this party is a freaking healer and a Ruuto. 2 healers and a Ruuto, or just something absolutely ridiculous. Because at that point, if they have 2 healers and some kind of DPS character, right, and then Ruuto, you pretty much, you have to start off and you have to kill that DPS character, and then as soon as he comes back to life, you got to keep him dead. You cannot let them actually do damage to you, and that becomes very, very hard to do when you have a healer there, another healer there, especially after, like, you might be able to kill their DPS character once, but then anchor rate goes off and you're stuck targeting Ruuto. That DPS character comes back. All it takes is one DPS character to kill your whole entire party if it's set up right. Especially, what is his name with his freaking 60 hit count S3 from Attack on Titan. Too many freaking characters. You guys know what I'm talking about. All it takes is like one character like that. Mikasa. I've seen her absolutely just destroy a party that was standing around that was standing around Ruuto. Like, Kohaku could destroy a party standing around Ruuto, because she's going to chain all of the hits together on all of them. So there's lots of options there. Right? You don't have to run like a full overrun team like I'm running. You can approach your attack team from a completely different, like, strategic point, and you will do just great. You will do just great, especially if you're using Ruuto. It almost becomes unfair. So, if you got him, use him like that. Throw him into that team and see what you can get out of him. You would be surprised. I'm still very, very happy with my Ruuto. Let's see. Oh, on a side note too, I think we pulled a new arc today. I want to double check. I want to say that it was the arc. Okay, it is the arc. It is this arc. The Aldana Imperial Order. I've been doing a daily pull on this the whole time to try to get the arc. I honestly wanted the arc more than the character. I'll get the character later. I'm not too worried about him, especially since I have Ruuto built. He's doing this tank job just fine. Obviously, this guy's going to be better in a fight where they're weak to Earth. But I don't know. I don't think Grandass could actually function as a healer. Not like my Ruuto can. So, still very happy with Ruuto. I've been pulling on this just to get the arc. And actually using these tickets. Using some of the tickets that we got. Like, this arc is on here, surprisingly. Forget exactly which tickets. You know what? It might have been this. It might have been this. The daily free 10 spin. Let's see. Does this thing have it? Yeah. The Eldania Imperial Order. Yeah, this is where I got it from. I ended up pulling 3 red orbs on my free spin, and one of them started doing the little dance, and it was new. And I was like, oh shit, that must mean that obviously that arc has to be here. I was like, what other arc am I missing? So that's cool. I can stop doing my daily over here. I'm not going to stop doing my daily for Roland, just because getting one more of him would make him a little bit stronger. And I'm all for that, just for 100 lapis a day, no problem. Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, I can't justify the UR banner pull, which is crazy because I've been talking about it for a while and I've been getting hyped about it. And my whole thing was, there's going to be something new on there for me. There's the probability of me getting something new, and everything else was just like icing on the cake. As soon as you take that away from me, don't get me wrong, I'm glad this played out the way that it did. I'm getting to save 9,000 paid lapis, right? What am I giving up? I'm giving up potentially leveling up one of my UR arcs by a level. I'm not going to drop $100 to do that. I'd maybe drop $100 to get a new character or a new UR arc. Definitely a UR arc, or at least have a chance at a new one. But I just can't justify it now. Things are so tight in last Cloudia that I'm like, you know what? Yo, that's 3 payable pulls on the next banner. That's actually a new character that could actually get me something new. So I've just been holding on to my 9,600 paid lapis, and I've just been doing the dailies out of that. So yeah, pretty happy with the way that this turned out. And you know what, I'm sure by the next time that we get a UR arc banner, I'm sure I will be missing some of the UR arcs and maybe even some of the heroes on it. So I will be in a better position to justify doing that pull then, right? But I've had a lot of fun watching other people's videos, seeing what they get, seeing what they've pulled for their UR pull. Best of luck to everybody. If it turned out awesome for you, please leave me a comment, brag all about it. Let me know what you got. Let me know how many URs you pulled from that bad Mama Jamma. And I wish everybody the best luck, and I'll see you in hell. Later.